Hey everybody, welcome back to Everyman Prepping. I'm Seth, and as most of you know, I've been out about 8 days or so from my last video, took care of a few things, but I'm getting back in the swing of things. Thank you for all the messages and notes and emails from everybody wondering if I was okay, everything is fine. It was, just taking care of some business. But I'm glad to be back, missed you guys as well, getting it back into doing the videos on prepping and news and what's going on and everything. So we're going to talk about that really quickly. And in this video coming back, I'm going to hit on a couple things that have happened over the last 8 days. You know, the news cycle goes so fast, you know, every 2 or 3 days, probably every 2 days, you know, the news cycle turns over. So I'm going to hit on a couple events that happened over the last couple days. And then some things I just picked out recently to go over really quick. So I know everybody's busy. Weekend started. Easter's coming up tomorrow. And we're going to talk about that and something Biden did today about Easter happening tomorrow and what he did to interject his own, I guess, slant on Easter, whatever you want to call it. We'll get into that. Let's go ahead and start with something else, and that's talking about things that have happened. And of course, one of the biggest things out there was the Baltimore bridge collapse. The Francis Scott Key Bridge hit by a container ship. It collapsed on Tuesday. It's still, you know, all the port of Baltimore is still shut down. It's a hugely important port on the East Coast. Does a lot of car imports, other things, a lot of exports. But, you know, people are asking, was it deliberate? Was it just an accident? Was it a hack? So, in my opinion, I'll give you what I think after, you know, reading this and looking at it is I think it was on purpose, whether it be from a hack, someone on board. You look at the track of it, how it lost power, gained power, and angled right for the bridge support that took it down. It'd be too big of a coincidence, I think, that it was just a natural accident. Will we ever find out? I don't know. But, you know, from the looks of it, in my opinion, I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. Haven't, you know, heard from you guys, like I said, in a week or so. So put it in the comments below. Why are you doing that? Hit that like button, share, subscribe, everything. Really appreciate you guys. So, yeah, if you do all that for me, I'd love that. So, like I said, let me know what you guys think. I think it was obviously, in my opinion, done on purpose, whether it be through a third-party source or, you know, on the ship. Yeah, there were calls of distress and all that. Doesn't mean it couldn't have happened from the ship anyway. You cover your tracks by putting distress calls out. Anyway, we see a story coming out just today where they say that, you know, the salvage efforts are, you know, are being delayed. There's a massive CIA-linked floating crane going to Baltimore. I don't know why. I haven't really researched why it's a CIA linked crane going there and why it's going there. But it's saying here that it's sitting potentially atop a high pressure water gas line. So if we look at one of the new photos that came out, you can see in the dotted red rectangle how the bridge collapsed. You see the container ship here blocking the entire port. A lot of business, a lot of financial problems. You know, is this a test run so they can say, hey, how many ports could we take out across the United States by just driving cargo ships, whether you hack them or you have people on board doing it, shutting down all the ports, causing a huge financial crisis. But, you know, now we're worried about, I'm going to go down, scroll down here and get on this map here, this one here, where they're saying, you know, that ship is on top of a gas line. Now, I don't know, you know, the ship's floating, obviously, so I don't know if it really has any problems, but if the bridge parts fell on top of the gas lines, is that going to be an issue or not? I don't know, but you can see from the diagram here, this is the same red rectangle, but this blue line coming down from the top shows the natural gas pipeline. It must only be for one state, because as soon as you cross state line, the blue line ends, but gas line there. Are we going to see explosion in a couple of days? Who knows, but this is just going to delay the opening of the port, causing more financial issues and economic distress for not only that area, but the country. So that huge thing happened out there. And then we also have this coming out of, well, CNN reporting. I've got this from other sources as well, but 13 of these containers that were damaged are, you know, from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, hazardous contents. So what does the CDC have in these containers? And I think this thing was going to Liberia, I believe, eventually in Africa somewhere. You know, is this, you know, pandemic 2.0? What is the CDC shipping that's hazardous out of the country? Something to think about when you're looking at this. So, you know, we'll see. You know, there's an elite Coast Guard team on there checking it out. There's been other hazardous containers also on the ship. So, you know, they got to offload the ship before they move it and everything. Now we're hearing this story. So, is there another event coming in the future? Was this to spur another event? I don't know. I found this very interesting. news that came out today. So that's one thing that happened while I was out. The other thing, of course, is the big terrorist attack in Russia. 140 plus people or so died in the concert hall there. And then now we're at the blame game. Who did it? Well, you got Russia saying there's substantive evidence that Ukraine was linked to the terrorist attack. Does that serve Russia's purposes? Of course it does, because they say Ukraine did it. They can go hard after Ukraine for it. They said that Putin's out there saying not only Ukraine but any other people that helped Ukraine do this, they're coming after them too. But then on the other hand, you have the United States saying no Ukrainian involvement in deadly attack. They blame it on ISIS. ISIS did it. So each has their own purpose, their own end result they want from this event that happened. Will we ever find out who really did or not? I don't know. For on Russia's side, if you interrogate someone using such force and means, they're going to say anything you want them to say, and get any coerce, any kind of confession out of you want. So we'll wait and see. But the fact that it happened, horrible event. Russia's going to use that excuse to actually to go hard at Ukraine. U.S. is going to use an excuse saying, it was ISIS, you can't go after Ukraine. But horrible event. So that's my thoughts. Put your thoughts on the terror attack down below as well. Moving on from there, let's see what else I have for you. This is more of the current events. This just came out. So Mayor Adams of New York says they're going to roll out electromagnetic weapons detection systems in the New York subway system. Now, we heard that they had National Guard out there standing there doing bag searches. Well, I have a friend that just went to New York, just went recently. They were there 2 days, rode the subway both days. The whole time they went there through 5 or 6 subway trips, there was only one National Guard unit. It was 2 guys, sidearms only, no long arms, no rifles. And they only were there at night. That's all they saw. And this was, Manhattan, inside of New York. There was no bag checks, no metal detectors. So all that, I don't know if it went away already. But my concern with this electromagnetic weapon detection is how safe is it for the humans there? I'm sure the rats are fine living there, but what kind of energy source is it? What's it doing? Is it a microwave? Is it just magnetic? Is it going to cause problems in people? If you ride the subway every day, going to work twice a day, are you being beamed with stuff that's going to give you cancer? I don't know. Sounds totally unsafe. Sounds like it might be used for something else. Very weird. Something else I'm going to keep an eye on and watch, but don't trust that at all. Moving on from there, we have this AT&T data breach. Over 70 million people implicated. So if you're part of AT&T or an AT&T linked company, owned company, you might want to be, on your toes about checking your credit, checking your identity, make sure nothing got stolen. You may want to change your passwords for that because, they seem to have stole a lot of stuff. So hacks are going to continue. They're going to grow wider and further. So AT&T just seems to be up for one right now. Continuing on with the current stuff. This here is a video. We'll play just a little bit really quick. And this is a video of in Iraq, their underground missile city, basically. It's a propaganda coming from, Iran. I think I might have said Iraq or from Iran. Still tired from my time being out, but you can see they got, giant underground complexes, missiles everywhere, trucks fit in these things. It can be very hard to take this out unless you go, nuclear and you take out a lot of infrastructure. But, Iran is a force to be reckoned with over there in the Middle East. And, if Israel and Hezbollah continues to kick off the way they've been doing it, they're probably going to have to deal with this. So I just found this video interesting. You can find it yourself on X. I can put a link to it. But they have a pretty massive underground complex there. And this, I'm pretty sure, is, just one of thousands that they probably have. Because, they're basically, when you're a regime like that, you dig. You dig and dig and dig to dig in so no one else can oust you from your control of the country. Let's take a look at this real quick. Israel says there's about 134 hostages that have not been released, but they only think 60 or 70 of them are still alive. They can't come to agreement at all on releasing them or prisoners from Hamas or ceasefires or going into Rafah or any of that. They're still in that hospital. Let's see, I think it's that Shifa hospital, attacking that. So not looking any better over there with ceasefires or release. Unfortunately, if this is true, it basically looks like half of the remaining hostages might be dead. So I'm sure those people would love to get word if their loved ones that are still over there are alive or not. Plus, we have there's protests going on in Israel to get rid of Netanyahu because they don't think he's doing enough to free the hostages. So that's still a very hot point. And lastly, we have Easter coming up. Hopefully, you guys can enjoy Easter tomorrow. If you do that, if you believe in that, if not, either way, it doesn't matter. But it's the most important Christian holiday out there. Our country was founded on Christian principles and everything like that. Huge day, huge weekend, for Easter and everything, the belief for the Christian community. And then we have Biden doing this. And yes, it's on purpose. There's an agenda, and it's just part of the moral decay that, that side is promoting on this country. But basically, you have Joseph F. Biden here saying that on virtue of his authority, that March 31st is going to be Transgender Day of Visibility on Easter. Biggest Christian holiday. We're going to have a Transgender Day of Visibility. Could it be April 1st? No. Was this during Ramadan? No way that's going to happen. But largest Christian holiday, this goes out there. Yes, it's an agenda. There's a plan. Just be advised of it. That's all I want to say about that. There's a headline here. You see the Biden there, but the little note down here at the bottom is what I want to say. White House bans religious symbols in Easter egg art contest. So your child wants to do an Easter egg contest, and they're going to put a cross on there or a Bible or whatever they want to put on there. Nope, can't do that. We're not going to have any of that in our contest for the White House. So, like I said, the agenda, they're pushing it on purpose, and it's, this time we're picking on the Christians, which seems to happen a lot. That is all I have for you today. Like I said, I'm still catching up on work, everything, videos, but that's a brief synopsis, everything. I appreciate you guys all sticking with me during this last break. Once again, if you haven't done so, like the video, share it. If you haven't subscribed, do so. Join the community. This is the things we do. We talk about prepping as well, and how-to videos and all that. And a lot of current event updates so we can be prepared, because we're most definitely headed towards that World War III that's happening fast, just based on what you saw coming out of this video right now. So enjoy tomorrow if you celebrate Easter. Enjoy it anyway if you don't celebrate Easter. But everybody have a great weekend, great Sunday, and I'll be talking to you soon. And until next time, keep your ear to the ground, head on a swivel.